Yes. Turn this off, man. UTSL is a triple leveraged ETN that trades against the XLU, which is the Spider Select Utility ETF. So the XLU is one of my favorite go-to things here. Utility Select Sector Spider Fund. Okay, so it's an ETF. And inside of there, we've got Southern Electric, we've got Duke, we got a whole bunch of shit. Okay. The thing we like about the XLU and the UTSL, especially UTSL, is leverage times 3. This is for crazy people. That's what you need to understand. The XLU actually is an ETF that actually owns stocks, that actually owns the underlying stock, which is, what do we got in there? We've got Edis, we've got Duke, right? So this right here is the XLU. Let's look at Duke, D-U-K, for Duke Energy, man. Science of Getting Rich says there's a science of getting rich. It's an exact science like algebra or arithmetic. There are certain laws that govern the process of acquiring riches, and once these laws are learned and obeyed by any man, he or she will get rich with mathematical certainty. Meaning that maybe it's a formula. Time times amount times yield. That's what the book is saying in flowerful language. But that's what it's saying. So this pattern here, if you've ever read my book, The Money Flow, this is what they call a stage 2 breakout. Now, the breakout happened yesterday, but this is like, it's gone. The horse has left the barn. Away we go. Like, it's gone. Can't buy it now. And the first plot, this is going to run into problems. So as a trader, you know, I'm looking to start downsizing or nibbling, taking some of my money off the table in a predetermined location, meaning where price has been before. And then on a chart, they'll call this resistance. You'll see like price will run up and it'll bang resistance and be like, look at that, triple top. And everybody else has different things to call it, but it's a place where wherever price has stopped before, we call that resistance, right? Well, price is drawn to go there again, man. And that's why you'll get this movement of price, this pattern where it moves in, whether really regardless of time frame, it could be on a 1 minute, or you can money flow on a minute chart, you can money flow on a monthly chart. It might take a while. And the guy that showed me about the money flow, he didn't call it that, but he did it on a weekly chart. And what I realized, no man, for the game I'm playing, and it came to me in an epiphany, the game I'm playing, that shit is on a daily chart. And I began to see that movement of price, where price would move sideways, and then it would go down, and it would move sideways, you know, and then it'd go up, and then it'd go sideways. And that's this right here. And so what I would do is I would use this movement. It's this flow of capital, man, up, down, up, down. And if I could somehow anchor that to what's the value of this? What is this thing that we're playing with here? You know, what's the chance of zero? What's my time frame? What's my goal? Am I trying to collect dividends? Because, I mean, can't see me on YouTube, but here's money, man. If the goal is to collect money, like you just want, hey, man, give me 100. Matter of fact, hey, man, give me 100 every month. Give me 100 every month. Well, time times amount. How much are you willing to get 100? So there's all kinds of shit you could put money in that pays you money to hold it. There's REITs, there's business development companies, right? There's leveraged dividend funds, there's mutual funds, there's bonds, all kinds of shit. Stocks. This stock here pays a 4.5% dividend yield. Do you think I want to buy it when it's gone up for a long time, or you think I want to buy it when it's come down for a long time? Well, obviously, we don't want to buy it when it's come. We want to try to load up when it's come down. And if we're traders, what are we looking to do? Maybe sell it or take gains when it goes up. That's if we're trading. Now, if we're investing, maybe you don't want to do that, but okay, maybe I don't want to sell into that. What's up with this camera, man? I'm on the backup account, so you get the secondary camera, man. People coming and going. What's going on, man? So this is UTSL, and this is breaking out right now. And we see where, let me clean this up a little bit. Now, I want to show you something that happens. It's just a little phenomena. We're going to draw it out. I'm going to do a line on it, vertical line. Everywhere you see these three moving averages, they're not complicated, okay? It's a 5-day, 10-day, 20-day. And when they cross, nothing magic about this. But what you need to know is that it happens. And when it happens, it's kind of like bad weather. Meaning you look, the clouds change, fucking starts getting windy. Like, it is not surprising you. It starts to do it like in this pattern. And, you know, sometimes you get false alarms. And as I go through, and I start putting all these in, well, the thing about the money flow is it's not based upon one thing, one idea, man. It's looking at layers of things like an onion. It's looking at moving averages. It's looking at price, where price velocity, how far has price gone, where does it come from, where's the nearest resistance level, where's the nearest support level, right? So we're drawing out price. I want to pinpoint the anchor points and the possible turning points, and then what, set target points. Or maybe I don't want to take targets, but if I'm trading, I do, right? And then if I'm buying because I'm trying to accumulate, I want to try to buy cheaper or lower. So right now that's just a little analysis we did on that, but let me move this over, man. Stay with me, man. Stay with me. Pretend like you understand me. I can't see if the... I assume you can hear me just fine on YouTube, huh? Science Getting Rich says there is an exact science, or like algebra or arithmetic. There are certain laws that govern the process of acquiring riches, and once these laws are obeyed by any man or woman, he or she can get rich with mathematical certainty. GP, did the ebook come out today? Man, why are you asking me questions? Yeah, man, it's being emailed right now. Give it a few hours. You should get it. Back to the UTSL. I know some of you guys are at work. I'll record this. You can watch it later. $38, big move out. We had our official breakout on this ETN yesterday. This is one I typically stay in. I load up, and then I look to downsize it into strength. So we'll see what's going on when it gets up into here. So this is our first targets, right? Like up in this range here. Like we got two of them. So if we own shares, we're looking at downsizing. This is a triple leverage fund. We want to downsize into strength, right? We don't want to buy it and up into higher prices. We want to sell some into higher prices. And then let it set back up. And you go, what do you mean? Meaning go through this flow here of where it went sideways and then it broke out. And when price broke out, meaning it's going above that green line, okay? That's what the moving average helps me determine. So if I'm trying to figure out what stage I'm in, 1, 2, 3, or 4, that green line, the crossover of that 5-day, 10-day, 20-day, this is the birth, man, the birth of a stage 2 breakout, man. That's what it's all about. And here it's too far gone, man. You missed it. Meaning the breakout was yesterday, the confirmation was today, and the horse has left the barn. It's gone. And it's going where it's going. So that's how much time you had, trader. Right there. What's up? Bam. Right? If you want to add. Now, I was holding plenty, so I'm sitting fine. We're headed higher. So here we go. So what do we do now? It's like, would you buy some here? Hell no. If you were buying some, it was right there and right there, man. Not here. Maybe right there. That was the first day above the 5-day. And so it's going to roll through this pattern. It's going to go just like this, man. It's going to go have been a 1, a 2's classified prices above the 20-day moving average. We don't know how long it takes these stages to build out. Maybe it's 3 weeks, maybe it's a month, maybe it's 2 months, maybe it just keeps fucking going sideways, kind of down, and then it breaks out and it runs. There's some catalyst that turns it around. And this one turned fast though. If you notice the way price moved here, let's clean this up. Let's look at how price normally moves. Now watch this. This is important. It's important. This here, just you can see them, right? I hope you can see these. I mean, you gotta be able to see these. You can't be my friend, man. Like, seriously. So you see as we're going through here, we're going through price. And what we're going through, come on, man. We're supposed to be friends. This. So all my friends see the stocks like this. They go sideways, they run up. They go sideways, they come down. They go sideways, they run up. They go sideways, they come down. And this price thing, this will, when you die, they'll go sideways, they'll go up, they'll go sideways, they'll come down. Now, sometimes they're going to do it in just shocking formation, like you can't believe how well they do it. Other times they'll stop what we call stop money flowing, meaning they get a little fucked up. Let's look at Twitter today. See if you can see it. So if we're looking at this, the reason we have the moving averages is to help us see the turns in the pattern. Now, you know, and we don't even have to be geniuses about it, right? Just roundabouts. These are turning points in the 4 stages of price movement. Price went sideways, and then it went up, and then it went sideways again. This is like some 4th grader computer drawings here, but right? Isn't this what it did? Here was our anchor point on the upside. So we're looking for an anchor point on the downside, right? There's your anchor point. Price is above the 5. So what are you seeing there? You're seeing here, you're seeing this, stage 4 decline. Then you're seeing price start to go sideways, and then what? Start to run. So if you're looking at this pattern, like this is what I'm expecting. Sideways, starts to run, sideways, and then it comes back down, man. Now, what if it goes up? Well, then it's a brand new stage 2, and it runs again. And as I watch this, it depends on what is my goal. What do you want to do with it? What are you doing with it? So if it's something like Twitter, if I'm trading this, all right, today was good. Why? Because we stayed with it. We got long this trade. You're like, why? Stage 1. Watch. You can see what I'm thinking. We'll just get the box. Here's the anchor. And here's the stage that's being built out. Probably take it a little higher. So this is stage 1. Price is moving sideways on Twitter. Look at the 20-day moving average, that green line. It's an average price of the last 20 days, which is 1 month of trading, okay? 1 month. In my new ebook, I say this, chaos to cash. Success is always organized chaos. That's what this is. The money flow is trying to organize chaos, right? It's not perfect, but it's trying to organize chaos for you. This green line is helping us try to read it and organize chaos. And so each layer of the process, so to speak, as we analyze this, as we look at this, looking for this pattern right here is what I'm watching for. So after it comes down, I'm looking for it to go inside there. That 20 is going to go sideways, and it might go a little above it, a little above it, a little above it. And it may not rip straight off. And so we start to draw it out, man. And you'll see it form out, man. Once you have an anchor point, which is the lowest low of the stage moving down, price moves below the 20-day moving average, down. How far? I don't know, man. I don't know. What this up here tells us is it's like, hey, look, yellow light, man. Slow down. What do you mean? You're coming to the end? So this is like the road monitor. He's like, look, you're coming to the ceiling. Hey, look, man, you're coming to the bottom. You need to stop. You went too far too fast. That's what this is. This is just like a speedometer. When that pops up, that means it's like the on your car when you rev it, RPMs, and that shit goes by. You need to let up, man. That's what this is. And that's price letting up in between these. So when it's in here, man, it's just drift land. That's stage. Goes stage 1 sideways, goes a little down, a little up, a little down, a little up, a little down. And what is it doing? It's doing the same thing it did up here, down here. Meaning this pattern playing out of it going sideways up, sideways down, and you're like, well, what's the price? What's the value? Man, that's all a social agreement. Whatever you guys agree on. I don't know, whatever the fuck they agree on. What is today? Today, Friday? I think we're going into a holiday. It's Friday, right? Okay, well, when it opens back up on Tuesday, whatever the social agreement is, whatever we agree on. And then in the midst of that, you could fundamentally look at it and have the stock analyzed, and you can see what are earnings, how they're growing the company. They got any new shit in the pipeline? Are they doing any mergers? Are they doing any investments? Or they got a new product line coming? Like, does the business own assets? Like, what if the business owned real estate and the real estate's going up in value? It means their the balance sheet's going up. And you can calculate that. And there's people, that's all they do. All they do is sit around reading that shit, understanding that. And you can pay them a little money and they'll give you their best opinion. They'll be like, oh, that company's worth this. And we can lay that over like an onion over this. Look at this, man. I'd be remiss if I didn't check in on Bitcoin. Oof, Bitcoin. Why did you do us so, Bitcoin? We all loved you so much. Why did you do that to us? All right. Bitcoin. Fractal is a never-ending pattern. Fractals are infinitely complex patterns that are self-similar across different scales. They are recreated by repeating a simple process over and over again in an ongoing feedback loop. Driven by recursion, fractals are images of dynamic systems, the pictures of chaos. Geometrically, they exist in between our familiar dimensions. Fractal patterns are extremely familiar since nature is full of fractal patterns. For instance, trees, rivers, coastlines, mountains, clouds, seashells, hurricanes, etc. Abstract fractals, such as, that's enough science. Means there's a lot of fractals. Look at these moving averages on Bitcoin. We were at a real apex here, man. We play the music. It's a real problem. This is where Bitcoin's at. This is the anchor point. This would be the upside targets. Well, look at these moving averages. Everything is pointing down, man. Everything is pointing down. Look, the 5-day, the 10-day, the 20-day, numerically aligned, pointing down. So, we're in a real pickle here, man. We are holding the anchor point, but it is like on death's doorstep here. It's just holding this. We need to hold this, or down we go. And you're like, what do you mean? This here. Like, we're doing a whole nother stage down. And then what? Then it'll stop. Like, what do you mean? I mean, it'll stop, man. Look. The speedometer will come out and it'll be like, hey, slow down. That's what this is. Those are oscillators, in technical terms. They measure price velocity. How fast is price going? You can measure it on a whatever time period chart you're on. So this is a daily chart. So it measures the last 14 days, consecutive days. And if those days heat up, meaning they go fast up, then this gauge here will click. And once it hits this 70 line, it will almost always stop, if not temporarily. Doesn't mean it's done going up, but it's got to work that off like a RPM on a car. Same on the bottom. It doesn't just hammer on that, rarely. I mean, you might catch one here and there, but generally, the way price moves is when that hits in, it starts to slow down. And when you understand how oscillators work, you'll get it. It's very, very similar to RPMs. Like, it doesn't mean the move's over. It just means like, wow, you've really gone quickly. And it needs to digest it. Money is money. Money's everywhere. The money has to digest the move that just happened. Because now there's people whose account is either lower or higher. They have decisions to make. Lots of people are looking at this. And there's people that all they do is watch this, meaning they only want to buy on this, and they're looking to sell whenever it does this. So whenever they see that, they start to sell, man. What if you did that? What if all you did was watch the RSI and you're like, fuck, I'm going to take some profits. I think I'm going to add some. You were like, well, it went lower. Yeah, but still was near the bottom. So as a general rule, you'd be buying bottoms and selling tops. I mean, that's what that does. And you're like, well, it doesn't work perfect. No, that's why we got to layer it with other things, man. But it does work a lot. And so that a lot sometimes could be all we need. You're like, what do you mean? Meaning I only want to add to my stacks when they're on those extremes. And what if you did that? Just went around as a general rule, just buying shit when it was on sale. And you would trim it when it went up. So look at Southern Electric right now. Ripping higher. Where's the RSI? 59. What does that tell you? How far can we go before you think it'll run into trouble? Well, it's got to get red, man. So it's going to be a couple days into that. I mean, it's going to hit 74, 75. When it hits that 74, 75, that RSI is going to go extreme. You're going to see it, start to stop. And from that, you're going to feel like I'm locking up here, man. Someone just tried to call me. Come on, man. Leave me alone, man. Stop calling me. So stage 2 breakout, price runs. Stage 3 comes in, price starts going sideways. Stage 4 comes in, what? Price comes down, right? Come on, man. It's like we let panda bears in here, man. You ever watch panda bears on YouTube? There's a science of getting rich, and it's an exact science like algebra or arithmetic. There are certain laws that govern the process of acquiring riches, and once these laws are learned and obeyed by any man, he or she will get rich with mathematical certainty. That's why you see me a lot when I do real estate stuff. I'll draw a $175,000 house. I assume you're going to get 10% off. We're going to put 20% down. What am I doing? That math. You need to do that math in your head all the time. Like, you want to acquire real estate, you need to know that. That little fucking formula I just showed you there. 20% down, but when you set aside this much for taxes, mortgage, insurance, right? That's called holding costs. We need to set aside some for maintenance and CapEx if you're going to do it in a big way, right? Boom, boom, boom. Do the math, man. Do the formula. So any house you see, you could run that number. And every fucking place you stood, every door you walked into, if you know how to do that simple math right there and you can do it fast, most people can't do it. Like, they're working on keeping their stocks straight. Their socks straight. Like, make sure they match. But if you could do that math I showed you, man, some of you guys in your 20s, you got shit to lose. Go buy the building. What are you waiting on? So we're going to be looking at selling this into this 76 range. That's SO. Will I sell some? I'm not going to lie. Probably not. You're going to be like, what do you mean? If you've been with me for a minute, you know I'll trim UTSL. I don't trim these utility stocks much. I'm a buyer, not a seller. Meaning I'm trying to get like 500 shares. I want to get like 1,000 shares of SO. And I'm only, I'm 52. I've got hundreds. I want to get 500. I don't see how I get 500 by trimming it. But I do get 500 by buying on all the stage 1s, right? And so I want to buy prices lower. Not to say I wouldn't trim. I'm not saying it. And I have trimmed. But lately I've become more concerned with the return, the interest, the money. When it starts hitting $300 and $400, you're like, hey, give me more of that. But it also becomes a great trading tool. And I was saying the other day that, like, I think it's easier if you start learning how to invest using the money flow, like adding just things on stage 1s. And maybe you're trimming, maybe, I don't know, I do sometimes. It depends on the play. Depends on the situation too. But that opens the door for me to trade, because now I know that this is something I look at every day. So now if I could look, it's on the move, stage 1, Boom. Stage 2 breakout. Where's target? Right here. And you're like, well, what if it doesn't work? It's utility stocks, man. It's utility stocks. Like the people you pay your electric bill to. I think they're going to be here. I don't think Biden's getting rid of them either. I think it's going to make it. Like utility stocks are going to be okay. That's why these things come back so fast, man. So if you stay with this, like this should be part of your life, man. Everybody here listening should be able to rattle off 5 or 10 utility companies that FE's one we're in, right? Look at it moving today. Like we've owned shares in Moneyflow Gang's owned this for 2 years, man. We bought it a lot cheaper and once or twice higher. When we first were buying it was in the 28s. It's run as high as 48. Now it's back to down again, and now we're going for it again, whole time paying a dividend yield. Fuck, man, all I want to do is accumulate this on low. This is the largest utility stock in the state of Oregon. So they're in all these different states. Southern Electric runs through Alabama, Georgia, all through these southern states, Texas. They do utility poles. You see them out there. Electricity, man. In your area, there's some in Florida. My buddy Michael, he comes on lives with me sometimes. He's into knee. Look at knee going today, $80. We were buying the stage 1. I don't know if Michael's on here. If you are, man, you're an American hero. We were talking about it here. Why? That's the money flow, man. Right here. Right? I want to buy valuable shit after it's come down and it's gone sideways. And that's valuable stuff, man. Every time that happened, where it came down and then where did it go sideways? Over here, we could have done it. I didn't add any on this last little pullback. Why? Because I already had a shit ton. I needed to buy other things, man. I only want to get so much and so much, I'm wanting to buy some more Uber. I got something. I'm nibbling on Bitcoin. I got a few other things. But I have a very large position in this UTSL, which is made up of these utility stocks. Duke, Southern, right? Edison. What is the other one? American Electric Power. Like there's tons of these. They throw you off dividends. So you want to own like $50,000 of these things. I mean, of like Southern Electric, yeah, you want that problem. You want to have 50 grand in here. Why would you not want 50 grand in here? Seriously. Like you want $1 million. Like you want $1 million in here if you could. Think how much money you'd make doing nothing. Imagine you had $1 million in here. It's paying you 5%. That's 50 fucking thousand a year. All you're doing is looking at this screen. And you're like, okay, we should buy more here and let's sell some up here. And you're just watching it, right? It's like inventory, right? And you'll see this pattern play out. It's up to you how you want to play it. Stage 1 runs up. Look what happens when it runs up. What we were just talking about. The RSI goes extreme, man. It goes extreme. That don't mean it's done going higher. It means it's done on that leg, on that run, on that money flow. Went 1, 2, and then 3, and then 4. It might go through 50 of these as it climbs, $100 a share, or goes down. Might go from 60 to fucking $2. I don't know. And it'll do these. It'll go sideways, down, then sideways. Maybe do a little breakout, and then stage 4 decline, and down, and then sideways. And that's how you'll see it play out, man. And when you get them that are valuable and they keep holding that pattern, and over time, man, you get these ones like this, they're throwing you money and you're compounding that. Come on, man. Come on, man. Success is always organized chaos. The world and the universe are perfectly balanced. The planets never collide with each other. And the roots in the trees are always long enough to stabilize the trunk. The sun never gets too close to the earth, and the rivers and streams always lead into the lake or the sea. Fact is, nature has a very crafty survival system. It's a system that eliminates the weak from gaining too much power and authority. To protect itself, nature purges itself of anything it can't handle the pressure, people included. Nature does this to make sure that the strong will be around to assist her in keeping things in order. I like that. I was a little reading out of the new ebook. Hey man, you guys have a great weekend. Got a nice rally going in the utility stocks. And wish everybody a happy 4th of July. ETRN. Keep your eye out on these MLPs. Um, ETRN is one to keep your eye out on. It's doing some nice patterns. It's had a big sell-off. The RSI went extreme. We got an anchor point. So if you're looking to buy some income, go research this stock. Don't do it just because I said it. I own it, okay? I'm all disclosure. I own this. This is when I look to start buying more, man. And you're like, well, come on. I got fucking panda bears in here. You're like, for how long? For the rest of my life, man. Like, if I could get 600 in here, but I'm always doing this. Like, I'm always deploying money into some of these assets here. Remember, we did it over here and we did it here, right? Well, and then what? It ran up. What happened when it topped out? Look, RSI went extreme. So we know it's going to do that. We know going forward. Like, so we're not weirded out about that. We're using that to our advantage, meaning we want to accumulate, and then if you need it for whatever, I don't know, you might want to. Maybe you bought a shit ton, and when it gets up there and gets back into true value, that $8, $9 eventually, that's what happens, you know. Then you could do what you do. There's a lot of stocks doing that right now. MO, 7% dividend yield. Look at this, dude. Look at this bottom that was put in. This is a stage one. If you follow my work, this is it in real time, real life. No bullshit. And we're buying this. I don't know what other people are doing, but I'm buying this. And in 8, 9 years from now, like I was buying 8, 9 years ago, you're going to be like, fuck, dude, look at that dividend. Like $500. So we get in the box here. Every share we pick up at $42 gives you money 4 times a year. You get a dividend 4 times a year. A lot of people are like, that ain't no big deal. Man, you ain't got to do anything. If you're in prison, they're going to send you this dividend. Like, actually, if you got locked up, you might come back with more money. Like, you go away and then they just pay you dividends 3 years and you don't fuck around and touch it. And every time they give you a dividend, it buys you shares. And you just keep buying some shares. Over a period of time, you just have a bunch of fucking shares that pay you money. It's a magic how that happens. So, and you're like, well, what do you mean? Well, fuck, if you got $1 million in here, you're getting like 50, 60,000. That's like 5,000 a month. It's just money coming at you. And imagine if you don't use it. What if you don't use the money? You're like, what do you mean? Well, I don't need it. What do you mean? I do other things for money. What happens then, man? What happens when you have 10, 12,000 you don't need every month? And you're on fucking purpose and on point. You're not pissing it off. Like you're fucking putting it to work like it's going out of style. All of a sudden you're like, God damn, that guy's worth like $20 million. What happens to a guy who makes $20 million, don't need the money? So instead of buying 2 shares, he's buying 10,000 shares. You know what the dividend on this is when you buy 10,000 shares? Well, 420,000 in here. If most people don't even have the testicles to do it, like they couldn't handle that, dude. Holding stock positions that work $500,000 and you got 50 of them. They can handle that? You think most people can handle that? I don't know. You think you could? I don't know, man. I hope so. That's what we're trying to do, right? Chaos to cash. We want you to do that. So your intention is on this. Why is this stock that pays 7% that's been paying a dividend for 20 years, why is it got crashed? You need to know that, man. You should be all over this. You should be just all over this. Your scent is all over this. Like you're just laying on it. You're printing it off. You're looking at it. You're like, look, honey. She's like, I don't give a shit about that stock. Like that's how you should be about this right now. This is one of those kind of stocks, man. BX. BX is one of those. Did you start off with a personal account or did you always have a SEP IRA? Started with a futures account. So yeah, personal accounts first. Personal accounts first. You may not need a tax sheltered account. Now we're just riffing. You don't need a tax sheltered account. That's only if you're trying to tax shelter it. You're like, what do you mean? The rich guy? No, he doesn't have any tax sheltered accounts. He makes fucking a lot of money and puts it in his checking account. Like if you make a lot of money, you don't need a tax sheltered account. You just have a lot of money. So most of the time, most of the people you see participating in tax sheltered accounts, like we're on the lower end of the food chain. Like ballers don't really do that. I mean, some of them might, but they don't need to. Like once you got 10 million in a brokerage account, I mean, yeah, you're doing things to shelter your money, like buying real estate and doing things, but they're not fucking maxing out a 401k. That guy's making big money. That's for us, man. That's for the, trying to get rich to below. I assure you, Elon doesn't have a 401k. What stock is that? You should know the answer to that, sir. That's it, man. You guys be good. Hey, I hope you have a great 4th of July. Hope you enjoy the money flow. Hope you got a copy of my new ebook. We're going to start mailing them today. Give me at least till tomorrow before you say you didn't get it. And that's it.